Hello everybody and welcome back to the F1 My Team Career Mode with me, Dan, and of course the Radiant Racing team as we start with the Austrian Grand Prix today. Round 8, we're marking the midway point through the championship. Talking of the championship, this is likely to be the second and final season on F1 2021. I was considering doing a third season, but I would have to upload pretty much daily throughout the whole of June, which would give me no time to do anything, and also no time to prepare for in F1 22 content either, because there's going to be some stuff that I'm going to have to make in preparation for that. So we're going to be dropping down to 2 videos a week on this career mode. Maybe we'll throw in some extra videos if I have time. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell as we move on to the starting grid. And it's a Mercedes front row. Lewis Hamilton leads from teammate Valtteri Bottas, followed by Lando Norris in the first McLaren, and Max Verstappen, their Red Bull rival. Then Daniel Ricciardo lines up on the third row alongside Charles Leclerc in the first of the Ferraris, followed by the other Ferrari of Carlos Sainz and the other Red Bull of Sergio Perez. And round out the top 10, it is our usual suspects, Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso. Moving on, we have Zhou Guanyu, who out-qualifies his teammate for the first time this season. Radiant Slothz starts P12. Then we have Esteban Ocon lining up behind them once again in 13th alongside Lance Stroll, followed by George Russell with an impressive qualifying. He's alongside Yuki Tsunoda. Then we have Mick Schumacher and Antonio Giovinazzi, the two Alfa Romeos, on the third row from the back, followed by Sebastian Vettel alongside Nicolas Latifi. And finally, as per usual, it is Christian Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin. Well, here we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. Radiant Slothz outside of the top 10 once again, and for once behind his teammate Zhou Guanyu as the lights go out and they go away down towards turn 1 as we see lots of jostling around for position. Radiant Slothz hits the brakes hard there as he tries to avoid contact with the Williams of George Russell. We see Sergio Perez making a massive error there. He's losing tons of positions, and Radiant Slothz getting clouted by the side of the Red Bull as they run up the hill. He's actually going backwards at the moment, and he hits the Alpine of Esteban Ocon as Sergio Perez continues his struggling there with little to no grip at all. Radiant Slothz now loses another position. He's down in 14th from 12th as they come down towards the hairpin. He's under attack from Lance Stroll, who is going to get up the inside. It seems the Williams getting in his way there, not able to defend the move, and they go down towards the hill. We see Yuki Tsunoda send it up the inside, and now they battle side by side down towards the final 2 corners. Looks as though Radiant Slothz has managed to get the upper hand there over Tsunoda. As we see Sergio Perez come into the pit lane, and Radiant Slothz go round the outside of Lance Stroll into the final corner. Somehow keeps it on the curbs down there. He's going to follow in the slipstream now. Perez needing to get a new front wing, presumably, for his spin. And the chaos that caused hasn't helped Radiant Slothz. So now back up into 14th. He's got on a free overtake there from Perez. What an absolute disaster for him. He needs to retain his place at the top of the championship. He's going to go round the outside of the Aston Martin into the hairpin, and he has made the move. So lots of stuff happening on the opening lap. Zhou Guanyu actually up to 10th right now. Let's go on board at the start. Radiant Slothz gets away. Not too great of a start. Zhou Guanyu actually gets blocked ahead of him as they come into turn 1, and he has to hit the brakes for Pierre Gasly, who is in the way. And there was the Red Bull of Perez getting hit there. A sandwich manoeuvre going on for Radiant Slothz. Then gets pinned behind a Williams. Tries to go to the inside and realises there's an Alpine there. He just carries the speed through. Perez takes more damage from the Alpine as he tries to defend his position, and Radiant Slothz will see Lance Stroll come up along the inside of his car now as he runs up over the curb. There's Stroll. Radiant Slothz clearly struggling to figure out what exactly the problem was there, and then has to slot in behind the Aston Martin. This was Zhou Guanyu. Started P11, of course, and has made his way up into the top 10. Now he gets past Fernando Alonso, gets blocked by Pierre Gasly on the run down to turn 1. Gasly all over the road right now. Alonso potentially involved in the incident there with Perez, unless it was Ricciardo or Sainz. But a yellow flag stopped Zhou Guanyu from progressing much further up the order. Either way, here we go on to lap 3. Radiant Slothz still behind George Russell. Not a great race for him so far. Up ahead is Esteban Ocon, who is dropping further and further back from Zhou Guanyu. If he does not catch up to Ocon quickly, then he is not going to get the benefit of DRS from his teammate once he gets past the Alpine. And it's going to be too difficult to catch the DRS train, which now goes from first all the way back to 10th. He gets around the outside of George Russell before the hairpin at the end of the DRS straight. That is a vital move completed, and he's now closing to within a second of Esteban Ocon, who may actually have damage up ahead as we rejoin them now on lap 4. Going up the hill, there's Zhou Guanyu, now 3 seconds ahead of Esteban Ocon. Zhou Guanyu still not got past Fernando Alonso. He may not actually get that move done. We'll just have to see as we ride on board with Radiant Slothz. Goes to the outside of the hairpin again. Presumably will get the move. No, he runs wide this time over the grass very slightly. There's some damage to the front wing there. Only a minor nick on the front wing end plate, but he does have damage nonetheless. That will not be helping him as they come round towards the final 2 corners. Radiant Slothz realising at this point that he is probably not going to be able to catch his teammate and take part in the DRS train which is going on ahead of him. Zhou Guanyu actually still within that train as Radiant Slothz goes around the outside into turn 1, completes the manoeuvre, and up the hill they go. 5 seconds the gap now as we rejoin them on lap 8. We've had a few pit stops already as Radiant Slothz comes round the final corner, and we're going to see the first wave from the leaders going at the moment. Radiant Slothz actually moves up to 5th position now, still 5 seconds behind his teammate. And Zhou Guanyu, speaking of, 4.5 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo as there's a change for the lead. Up ahead, Max Verstappen takes over P1 for the time being until the pit lane starts to fill up. Radiant Slothz coming in. Oh, this is Zhou Guanyu is coming into the pit lane now. Rounds the final corner, and he comes. There are the leaders ahead. I suppose the interesting question here will be, where will he come out? And that's Radiant Slothz going through now, assuming the lead of the race. There's Mercedes, that's Hamilton. We're not going to see any more. And Zhou Guanyu actually drops quite far down the order. Where is Fernando Alonso? He is a lot further ahead right now. And he's going to come out behind Christian Lundgaard. Immediately gets into the slipstream of the Haas. And despite the fact that the Haas has DRS, he's going to send it up the inside on his much fresher tyres. And, yep, he has made the move stick. Now getting the benefit of DRS so he can help catch up to Latifi. Meanwhile, Radiant Slothz gets the call to come into the pit lane. Presumably going to drop beyond P15, given that his teammate is all the way back there at the moment. Actually lost quite a lot of time to Fernando Alonso, either been stuck behind the Williams, or just not being able to keep up. As Radiant Slothz actually comes in for a nose change as well. That is not going to help his time. Off he goes. And there goes Yuki Tsunoda. Well, thankfully, given that everyone else is coming behind him, he hasn't lost too much time there. But it does mean that he's got quite a mountain to climb to get back to the points and retain his lead of the Drivers' Championship. coming into the hairpin. He will chase down Yuki Tsunoda. And we rejoin them now. Sergio Perez, actually, who came in on lap 1, is now up to 11th. He's 6 seconds behind Zhou Guanyu, though, so unlikely to get past the Chinese driver. As Radiant Slothz already looks left and right, up ahead towards Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda with a lock-up as well. Not going to help his time or his tyres. And Radiant Slothz is going to go round the outside of the hairpin now. Tsunoda's still ahead on track, but he has managed to hold position. We're going to see a replay of the start of the race when Radiant Slothz defended from Tsunoda. And this time, though, Radiant Slothz gets the move done compared to Tsunoda, who was not able to finish that move on him. As Radiant Slothz comes down the same section of track again, this time in pursuit of the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, who is teetering on the edge of getting DRS from the Red Bull ahead of him. Radiant Slothz very much going to get DRS on the Aston, as he absolutely chucks it into the final couple of corners there. Lance Stroll on the soft tyres at the moment. Does not get DRS on the pit straight, but is going up the hill. Radiant Slothz takes a huge amount of curb there. But it is not going to help Lance Stroll as the two green cars go head-to-head once again. Radiant Slothz is going to look to the outside and perform the exact same overtake he made on Stroll earlier on. And now goes in pursuit of Sergio Perez. Not for points, but for glory. There is not enough time for him to catch up to Zhou Guanyu. And even if he did, he would probably want his teammate to pick up some points regardless. As now they come down the hill. Perez must be struggling with some reliability problems or damage to the underfloor of his car still, given the fact that he has not been able to catch up to the DRS train ahead. Zhou Guanyu actually dropped out of it, and it's began to fragment slightly as the pit stops cause some disruption. Radiant Slothz with some massive oversteer there. Slight correction, but Perez is still going to be powerless to defend from this. He's not going to have a look up the inside into turn 1. He's going to get the extra benefit up the hill, but he's within a tenth right now, already going to the outside, and has successfully managed to get past the Red Bull, at least getting back ahead of where he started and back to where his teammate qualified for this race, with just under 3 laps to go. And that is all now as he comes down the penultimate corner. Runs a little bit wide over the curb there. Cuts a bit too much off there. He did manage to get slightly close, and he has a massive accident on the pit straight there. He nearly caught up to his teammate. I was about to say he was following a battle up ahead, but was not able to. Sebastian Vettel is going to pick up driver of the day. Radiant Slothz 0 points for him, but it's a Mercedes, I think 1 and 2. We'll just see in a second exactly. Lando Norris actually on the right hand side there, as Lewis Hamilton takes another victory this season. Mercedes very much leading the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull had a very poor start to the season. Radiant Racing only had 1 driver scoring points for most of the season, and McLaren have just not been able to get on the top step of the podium enough to stay competitive with Mercedes, who, as I suspected, picked up a 1-2 finish here. Lewis Hamilton getting the win, of course, ahead of teammate Valtteri Bottas. The top 3 finishing exactly where they started. Not really a surprise. Let's get on with the final results. And here are the final results. Of course, we already know our top 3, but they were followed by Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Zhou Guanyu. Over in the Drivers' Championship, the top really heats up now as Valtteri Bottas just sits within 5 points of Championship leader Radiant Slothz, and then only 22 points behind is Lewis Hamilton, the 8-time world champion. They're followed by Sergio Perez, Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Esteban Ocon. Further down the order, we have Yuki Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Zhou Guanyu, who overtakes Sebastian Vettel, George Russell, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi, Nikita Mazepin and Christian Lundgaard. Over in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are running away with the lead, but there's a heated battle for second between McLaren, Red Bull and Radiant Racing, followed by AlphaTauri, Ferrari, Alpine, Aston Martin, Williams, Alfa Romeo and Haas. That's all for today. We'll catch you in the next one.